Hello, Paul Myers here with Road Warrior Investors. In this episode, we're covering private money, and we're going back out to Detroit, Michigan, and meeting with Bob Leon. And he is actually, just like ourselves, looking for private lenders that want to help fund some of our deals for us. And in this episode, we'll discuss various ways this is done and some of the benefits of recycling your money and using it through us and making a pretty good return on your money. So with that, we'll let Bob take it away.
Welcome to my private lenders. This is Bobby. I'm with my two good friends. They're actually fellow franchisees. They're what are called development agents.
That's correct.
They actually train other franchisees on how to run our franchise business. So this is Denise Myers. This is Paul Myers.
Hello.
And we just wanted to do a quick video for those of you that are considering becoming one of my private lenders with the Secured Wealth program. I call it Secured Wealth because you could build wealth through making passive interest, helping me fix up houses, improve communities one house at a time. It's secured by a recorded mortgage. You get a promissory note, you get hazard insurance, and you get title insurance. So it's a pretty cool investment because, for example, the insurance, if a tree were to fall through the roof or some act of God were to happen, the asset's protected, right? If a stock crashes, you don't get insurance on that.
Yep.
So I guess, guys, what can you say to my private lenders about what we do and how we help people?
Well, it's something that we've actually done in our area quite a bit with private lenders. And one way to really leverage people's funds would be to do 401s. People they didn't know they can invest their 401s into something like this.
Sure.
And what that does is it provide a better return on their investment than a CD or
the stock
mortgage fund or stock market, and it's secured. And so the money is secured by a deed, basically, a trust. So if something happens to you and you fall off face the earth, whatever.
Or let's say you win the lottery, right? And you walk away.
They still get the house. So it's no different than a regular bank. And the nice thing is that if you use it for rehabbing houses, the houses flip pretty quick.
Yes.
Which means the return comes real quick versus just a year or 2 years in a CD that just slowly accumulates. This is something that, like you mentioned too, is also improving the communities.
It does.
Yeah.
And I think that to convey to people is that, home investors have a proven system of buying houses. There's 1,100 franchises across the country.
There are.
We actually live in Idaho.
We do.
So we're actually in Michigan, but we can tell you this works everywhere. Yep. And the deals that we buy are good deals.
Yeah.
They just, it's not like Bob's first rodeo, his first program ever a house, and ever buying a house. This is something he's done.
Sure.
It's something we've all done, and it's something we'll continue to do.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think another thing just to call out for the private money lenders out there is with home investing, Bob, we have access already to, I can't even count how many different hard money lenders just by being a home investors franchise. They provide 100% financing on the buy, 100% financing on the rehabs. We already have that. However, it is a working relationship on both sides, and we understand that there are people out there who might be sitting on a couple $100,000 just sitting in a bank, or have a 401k sitting there,
or an IRA,
You can turn those into a self-directed IRA, or you can move that $100,000 or $200,000 into an investor with a proven system, where you're going to get a lot more of a return on your money than having it sit in the bank.
Yep. The advantage for somebody like Bob or all of us is that instead of paying fees to these big lenders, or lenders, you'll get the fees instead. You'll get some better fees. You get some better. It's kind of win-win for everybody.
It is, because we have to pay somebody. I won't speak for you guys, but I don't have $20 million laying around in my nightstand to hit my investing goals, right? So we have to pay somebody. I mean, I've paid over $400,000 in interest just in the last 3.5 years. And I'm kicking myself because I've got friends with IRAs and I could have been paying that interest to them. And the other beauty is because we do have access to great lenders, but like hard money lenders, the issue I have is the speed. Because obviously lenders, they fund the purchase, but they do what are called construction draws. So we don't get all the rehab money up front. So the thing I struggle with is my contractors have to give me what I call labor loans. It's like they have to do the work and they can't get paid till the work is done because the lender doesn't release the money till the work is done, which I get it. That's how they, protect their capital.
Sure.
The beauty of a private loan is I get all the rehab money up front. So I literally rehabbed a house in Detroit in 10 days.
Wow.
In February.
So you're in and out, and you need the money in and out.
In and out.
Yeah.
And that's why I pay my lenders a minimum of 90 days interest, because we turn them so fast that I reward you for giving me the speed I need by pay. So even if we're in and out in 30, 45 days, you're going to get a 90-day minimum interest. So
that's nice.
They can return that money back to another loan or something too. And anybody with a 401, self-directed IRAs and whatnot, all that money goes back in your IRA. You don't pay taxes on it yet.
You do.
So
exactly.
it just keeps building. You keep building it, and people have it. I mean, we've actually self-directed IRAs for a long time. We own property in it, but it's the same thing. It's just all that money just goes in there. It just builds up. It's like a stock purchase, but this is secured by something tangible.
It is.
And before you know it, that $500,000 IRA is now $1 billion, and that grows and grows. So really nice.
Yeah.
So I know for us, the value add on using a private lender, the biggest value add for us is we know we can. I think there's two at least. The one of them is that if we needed to close super quick, like in 48 hours, and title and escrow can do that. We've got funds readily available. The hard money lender does have some other stuff that they've got to go through. But with that private money lender, they can have funds to the title and escrow company in 48 hours. So that's a value add to us.
It is.
And again, the turnaround back to them is they're able to make more money on their money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
now, the other value add to me is also with the hard money lenders. Not only is it, you got to do the labor loan thing, but the monthly mortgages kill me. Like my blessing ends up being my greatest curse. I mean, there was a point where I was paying for a long time over $11,000 a month in interest, and I'm still paying interest to my lenders. It's just backloaded when the house sells.
Sure.
So the first of the month, a lot of things hit. I mean, most of my payroll is due, advertising's due, mortgages are due.
I mentioned your regular life.
So. Yeah, exactly.
You need to live. You got
something. So.
And some of the lenders I've talked to, they get so excited about the idea of lending that sometimes they're afraid that I'll run out of opportunities for them to lend on. So being a HomeVestors franchisee, can you guys speak to why that's not the case? The juggernaut.
Well, I think you called it out earlier too, Bob, when we first started talking. Before you got into HomeVestors, you did what? 3 deals in the year?
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, 3 deals.
Full-time effort, by the way.
And we hear that quite often on the independent investor. Once you joined HomeVestors, what did that volume look like for you?
Honestly, I've had days where I got 3 houses under contract.
Right.
Yeah.
So the volume's gone up significantly. And I don't see that change.
It's not even the same league.
Yeah. I know that happens for us too on the West Coast. Before we came in, we were doing maybe 10 deals in the course of the year.
Bank owned stuff and things when you could, and that all dried up. So HomeVestors has been a way for us to get leads. It allows you to scale your business. I don't think there's a point when you can say there's not enough leads, because there's leads. There's always something to buy. There's always something out there, no matter what changes in the economy. As long as we all live in houses, this will work. And the day we decide to figure out a way to live out independently on a house outside, maybe it won't work. But until that day, I mean, real estate is still needed. There's still a shortage of it. I don't care what city you live in. It's a shortage across the entire country.
Absolutely.
There'll always be a need. People, at the end of the day, people want to live in houses.
Yeah. And the beauty is our brand. We have a brand behind us that's able to connect us with distressed houses and in some cases distressed sellers that are just, like Denise said, they need to sell in 48 hours. They can't call an agent. They can't get appraisers. They can't deal with inspectors. They can't have a bunch of buyers coming in and out. So we're that speed bullet they need a lot of times. So if you got money laying around collecting dust, or maybe it's getting eaten up by this inflation or underperforming CDs, we have no shortage of deals you can fund.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. I think the other thing too, just to help on terms of education, is anytime we do a property transaction, everything goes through a reputable, known title and escrow company.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know when we have some private lenders that we already use. The private lender knows our title and escrow team.
Yep.
Our title and escrow team knows the private lender, and it's just seamless, especially because we've done so many transactions.
Exactly.
Right. And so that just, everyone is, okay, we know what we're doing. Here's another one. Oh, we got 3 more coming in. Here's another one. And so everyone starts to, once you do a couple, everything just gets even more smoother.
Yeah.
And again, everything is done through title and escrow, from contracts to earnest money to money in general. All of it is done through title and escrow.
And that's the beauty, folks. We don't deal in what I call hot money. In other words, if you want to lend on one of my projects, we're not going to meet in the Burger King parking lot at 2 a.m. and you hand me a suitcase full of cash. Say, hey, Bob, good luck on the house. Like, your money never directly touches my hands or our hands. You wire straight to escrow.
Yep.
They're their own sovereign entity. They stand between us. They make sure everyone's taken care of.
They're state licensed and everything.
Exactly.
They got regulations they have to do.
Absolutely.
If we're buying the house from the seller, title and escrow, once they receive the funds, they make sure that the seller gets their funds and all of the.
They distribute all that stuff.
Exactly.
We don't do any of that. We don't any number. They do all that.
Yes.
And that goes both ways. When it's time for you to get your principal and interest back, okay, I'm not going to bring you a suitcase and make you count it and make sure I got the interest right. No, they're going to calculate the per diem based on the promissory note, and you're going to get every red cent that you deserve based on our promissory.
Send it back to whatever account.
Absolutely.
Set up with them.
They say they want
it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's done. Next.
And we also have a Homevestors vendor that's a really good friend of mine. Her name is Amanda Holbrook. She's actually done some of our one of our ugly hours, where she works with a company called Specialized Trust Company. That if you have an IRA or you have a 401k,
good plug.
She can actually help you to make sure that a taxable event is not created when you liquidate those funds. So it goes directly from your account to her custodial account. It goes to the custodian account to the title company. That way, Uncle Sam, and this is based on the tax code, right? There's tax avoidance.
We're not tax experts.
Exactly. Above our pay grade.
Above our pay grade.
But there's a resource out there that will help guide you if you haven't gone through that.
So we've got all the title companies, specialists that can make sure that your money is handled with the utmost care.
I like that.
I like it.
Absolutely.
And everyone walks away happy. What we found is once you find a good private money lender and you do one or two transactions with them, they're coming back going, well, where's the next one?
Because their account
on.
grows real quick.
They get a taste of that interest. Once they learn the process and they're like, okay, this guy, he knows what he's doing. He's not running off to Vegas or Disneyland with the money because I sent it to the title company, not him. Right.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing all that.
Exactly. So that is funny you say that, because I've got a couple lenders now I'm working with, and they do ping me up like, Bob, when's your next deal? And what I find is they're your greatest marketing, because they only have so much money they can lend. And obviously we have more deals than they can lend out. So they start recruiting friends and family and getting referrals. Like I actually have a lender that I started with. She's going to start with like 100,000. And she knows some people that are like multimillionaires that are always looking for places where they can throw their money.
Something different.
So
or maybe they want to look for some rentals.
Absolutely.
And do a little divide and conquer.
Sure.
Right? We can help with that.
They can make money on both ends.
That's
they can make money on the lending, and we fix it up, and then they can make money on the long-term.
Sure.
We got
options.
So many different options. It's just different than most people understand. Most people understand they invest in
and you
stock
don't talk
market,
about
but
it,
they
right? You know the stock market. You know that's out there, but you don't know about the underworld of options in terms of money, other than sitting it in the bank. That's what we were schooled on growing up. Put the money in the bank and
I can't
keep it there.
tell you how much there is private lending for big commercial projects and stuff. How much actually happens. There's a whole back end of that I don't think people realize.
I know. And the thing is, when you put your money in the bank, guess what? It's kind of advanced, but it's called fractional reserve like lending. If you put $1,000 in a bank, they only have to keep 100 of that. They can lend out the other 900.
That's the thing. They use your money to lend out to someone else.
They lend it back to you with the credit card and the auto loan.
That's crazy.
That's like banks make a lot of money, right?
So they pay you 0.000025% on your money. They lend it back to you and charge you
now
20% for the credit card.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Well, Bob, this has been fun. I love talking about this kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us.
A lot of people don't talk about it. Because money's tough to talk about.
And there's 37. I learned this from Amanda Holbrook. There's $37 trillion in retirement money just laying around.
That's a big number. We'll play with a little bit.
Yeah. Hey,
definitely reach out to Bob. I mean, we know his work. We know
You're in the
his
Detroit
jobs.
area, Michigan.
Yes. Yep.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
he makes it happen. So, I mean, trust me.
Means a lot coming from you guys. They're an awesome franchise.
A little different area, but it's the same thing. Yeah, we know Bob from conventions and stuff, and he's always top notch and everything. But hey, he is a property health specialist. Right?
I know. Maybe
I love it.
Property health and specialist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it. I'm going to add on to this just a
Please.
little bit because we're going to be like, comment, and share.
Share, yeah.
There's some sort of a bell.
Notification bell, which I can't seem to find. It's there.
And make sure when you hit the notification bell, you hit all notifications.
See, somebody found the bell.
And that way, every time they vote, you get a ding on your phone.
I love it. I love it.
Awesome.
Well, the Road Warrior Investors really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
This has been a great topic.
It has.
And if you're okay with it, we're going to be using this. as well.
Absolutely.
But,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I like it.
absolutely. I love
See you
it.
back out in the field.
See ya.
Yeah.